Hey everybody, happy Sunday. This is going to be a look ahead to the NHL All games. They do a 3-on-3 now tournament to get to see who's in the final game. The games will start very soon. They are now introducing people, and if you hear something in the background, that's what you're hearing in the background. The former Flyer Braden Shen made it since the first time he's been traded off of the team. He's having a great season, but the thing to be talked about that trade is Fred and I talked about it, is how much it affects us, who wins in the future, because Frost, who we got from a pick that we got in the Shen trade, is dominating the juniors. We got some other picks from that. We have stuff we have to wait on to see, because Yuri Latera is actually one of the lesser things we got in that deal, who's currently on the team. And then, so this is how the whole All-Star game works. We have, as soon as they're done introducing players, we have the Central versus the Pacific. And then whoever wins that game moves on. And then we have the Metro versus the Atlantic, which the Metro is, of course, the Flyers division. Whoever wins that game moves on and plays in the championship, which is at 6. So it's a tournament bracket, and it's going to be very exciting because a lot of these teams are pretty even this year. If we go off of the first matchup, that will be against the Central and the Pacific. The Central is made up of Patrick Kane, Nathan MacKinnon, Braden Shen, former Flyer, Tyler Seguin, Eric Stahl, Blake Wheeler, John Klingberg, Alex Pietrangelo, PK Subban, Connor Hellebuyck, and Pekka Rinne. Connor Hellebuyck, the goalie for the Jets, is much deserving of this award. He's 26-6-7 with a 9.24 save percentage of 2.35 goals against. He really has stepped up this year and made a much bigger name for himself. And then Pekka Rinne has been there, done that. He's just been good for years now and has just been a name that we like to see and see a lot in the All-Star game. Now, for the Pacific Division, they have Bosser, Goudreau, Kopitar, McDavid, who's their captain, James Neal, Reichel, Brett Burns, Drew Doughty, Ekman Lawson, Fleury, and then Mike Smith, who's having a very good season, who was put in to replace Jonathan Quick, who will miss the All-Star game. Mike Smith is deserving of making the All-Star game as the replacement, though, because he is 20-13 and he has a 2.39 goals against with a 9.26 save. He's having a very solid season for the Flames, so he was the first man in after Jonathan Quick was unable to go. And the second game is between the Metropolitan and the Atlantic. So first, we'll look at the Atlantic division, and then we'll look at the Flyers' home division. The Atlantic is Barkov, Eichel, Kucherov, Marchand, Austin Matthews, Brandon Point, who made it for the injured Victor Hedman, his teammate, Stamkos, Mike Green, Carlson, Carey Price, and Vasilevsky. The Metropolitan is Josh Bailey, Brian Boyle, the New Jersey man, who, this is a great story. Of course, we all know he battled cancer early in the year. He was named the replacement for Taylor Hall, his injured teammate, so now he gets to make the All-Star game in a very surreal story kind of year that he battled through cancer and then made it all the way to the All-Star game when he came back in November. And he's actually having a very good statistical season. For coming back in November, he has 11 goals and 6 assists with 17 points. That's very solid for, one, playing through battling cancer, and two, only playing since the time he started playing. He's doing very well this year. Then they have Crosby, Giroux, our guy Ovechkin, who's the captain of the team, Tavares, Hanifin, Letang, Rowinski, who replaced Seth Jones from his team. Holtby, and Lundqvist. So these games should all be very tight and very close games that are just really fun games to watch that should involve a good amount of offense, being it's 3-on-3 hockey. And the NHL All-Star Game, to me, and the NBA All-Star Game are two of the more fun to watch because they do a lot of they make some nice dekes, make some nice spin moves in the NHL. In the NBA, they do all these crazy dunks, do these nice layups, etc. Whereas in the Pro Bowl, which is also going on today, if anyone cares about that, it's 17-3 the NFC. The NFC. Alex Smith is now in for the AFC as Big Ben kicked off the game. But those games, the NFL game is not as fun to watch because it's all kind of just all off and not many people care. There's some picks, but it's a meaningless game after the season that they haven't figured out a way to change the format of the Pro Bowl to make it more appealing to big audiences like they did for the All-Star Game, making it 3-on-3. For the NHL and the MLB, they took out the having to win to see who has home field advantage in the World Series. So now it's made it a more fun game that everyone still takes seriously because they like bragging rights, and that game is kind of because of the history of the All-Star Game. So I think these leagues are getting a lot better at running their All-Star games. The NFL still needs to work on it with the Pro Bowl, but other than that, these games are getting fun to watch. Ever since we did this 3-on-3 tournament, it's been very interesting to watch, and there's been a lot of good game. And I think this year is going to be very close. I hope the Metropolitan Division can get to the final. We have to beat the Atlantic Division first, of course, which is not an easy task, but we should be able to do if the Metropolitan Division can score enough goals themselves and their goaltending can do good enough. It would be great to see the Flyers division win the All-Star weekend. So hopefully make that happen and win this All-Star game. This has been a look ahead to the All-Star game, the NHL All-Star game. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Borick. Enjoy your day, everyone. You're also watching the Pro Bowl. Enjoy the Pro Bowl. Peace out.